Usually I am a DIY-er, but for the second half of 2024, my family has lived in Buenos Aires, Argentina. We are wrapping up our time here and we are heading home. But I wanted to share my must go-to places in Buenos Aires in case you are visiting Buenos Aires anytime soon. I had to wrap my messy jersey, and mine actually has the logo for their Copa America win, because Copa America was while we were in Buenos Aires, and they won while we were here in Buenos Aires, and that was mind-boggling. Such a cool experience to be in Buenos Aires when the game was happening, because I've never experienced an entire city, an entire country watching a game all at the same time and being so excited when their team won. Like, gives me chills just thinking about it. Let's talk about the first place. And these are not in any specific order. They're actually in alphabetical order. If that's helpful. I think that every single one of them is a must go if you're coming to Argentina. First up is Eco Parque. I talk about Eco Parque all the time. It's in like every video I do about Buenos Aires. It is free, it is family friendly. There are animals there that you have not seen anywhere else in the world, unless you've been to Argentina before. There are animals here that wander around that you would never expect to see. There are maras that look like a cross between a very large rodent and a small deer. There are peacocks everywhere, there are monkeys, there are the coolest ducks, like just far and beyond. And then they have the coolest playground on the far end of the park. It is absolutely amazing. Be aware, it is not open on Mondays. There are a lot of things that aren't open on Mondays, so make sure you check. But far and away, one of our favorite places in the entire city. Next one is El Ateneo Gran Splendid. So this is somewhere that I recommend people go just because it's a cool experience. Like, it is an old theater that was turned into a bookstore. And it's one of the largest bookstores in South America. It is stunning. They've restored it. They have kept so much original stuff. You can sit in some of the old box seats and read. It's so cool. Cannot recommend it enough. It's in Recoleta, so if you're gonna go to the Recoleta Cemetery, you could also do this on the same day if you wanted to. Really nice place to just sit and relax. There is a cafe in there. It's just a Havana, which is like, I wouldn't say Starbucks equivalent, but like a chain coffee place. I wouldn't say to have coffee. I mean, if you really, really, really want to go to the cafe on the stage in this bookstore, go there. But you're gonna find better cake just wandering around the street. Just my next one is Jardín Japoneses. This is a Japanese garden that is maintained by the Japanese government. It is such a gorgeous place to go. It is a testament to Japanese architecture, culture, landscaping. It is absolutely stunning. You can, for less than $1 USD, pay to get food and feed the koi fish that are there, which our kids absolutely loved. That was a huge, huge hit for them. And they come up to you and they just swarm. It's absolutely so much fun. And there are restaurants there. We didn't go into any of the restaurants because it was kind of early when we went. And we went early on like a weekday, I think. And it wasn't too crowded. I would definitely say it'd be crowded on the weekend. But don't go here on a weekend because there are other places you need to go on the weekends because of markets. Like, honestly, don't do this on a weekend, do this on a weekday. Palacio de Libertad. This one, so cool. So this is basically a giant community center, and it is between Plaza de Mayo and Puerto Madero. And it's like when you walk from one to the other, you can see it. It is this giant, like a standalone building in the middle of, like, between two streets. It's got this huge, badass statue of Juana Arzudi, which, cool story. It used to be a statue of Christopher Columbus. They tore it down and they put up the statue of this woman who was not quite a general because she was a woman, but was very heavily involved in the guerrilla warfare against Spain and ousting Spain from the area. So not just Argentina, but some of the other touching bordering countries. Such a cool woman. One of the coolest statues I've ever seen. Definitely the coolest statue of a woman I've ever seen. Actually, it might actually just be the coolest statue I've ever seen, hands down, like man or woman, just absolutely incredible. Definitely worth seeing by itself. But the building has all of these free exhibits. There was this cool candy art texture thing that was a blow-up thing that we went the first time. There was also this Mickey exhibit when we went that was so cool. All of it was free. They do all sorts of stuff here. They've done book like tours. They've done, I think, like book fairs. They do all sorts of stuff here. There's a restaurant in there. There's like a viewing deck that's in there. Absolutely must go. So already mentioned it in the last one, but Plaza de Mayo. So this is where you're going to see Casa Rosada, the original Cabildo, which is where the original Congress was. There's a really cool church there. There's the giant Banco de Nacional Argentina, which is so cool. It actually reminds me of the Gringotts Bank in Hogwarts, in Harry Potter. It's just an incredible place. A lot of these places you can do tours of. It gets kind of busy, especially on the weekends. And in the warmer months, there are gonna be a lot of tourists there during the week, especially on Fridays. But if you go like midweek, middle of the day, there aren't gonna be a whole lot of people there. And it's also super easy to get to on the Subte, which is the underground train. There, pretty much every line ends there or starts there. Also already mentioned once, but the Recoleta Cemetery. So this is really close to the bookstore. Close-ish. I mean, it's in the same neighborhood. It is unreal. So this is it's both above and below ground. I don't think you can do tours below ground, but I do know that there's an underground tunnel system within the cemetery, but it is a raised cemetery where there are these giant tombs and mausoleums. It is so cool. It's a city within the city. It's walled off. It's very quiet and calm in there. We like to go early on a Saturday morning, so it opens at 9. We like to go first thing on a Saturday and spend time there because it's not very crowded. And then at 10, there is a market that opens outside of the cemetery, which has really cool stuff. We've gotten so many cool things there that we're taking home as Christmas presents. That's when you definitely want to go to on a Saturday, because that's when you can go to the market as well. The market is only open on Saturdays and Sundays. Don't go on a Sunday because there's another market you're going to go to on Sunday. I'll tell you in a second. Okay, the next one is the Ecological Reserve. It has a name in Spanish, and I've said it a few times, and I'm not going to butcher it again, but it is on the edge of the city. You go to Puerto Madero, and you can either enter on the north side or the south side. It's absolutely stunning. The contrast between the high rises and the wildlife and the preserve is just incredible. There are two different sides to it. There's I guess they call it the duck pond and the goose pond. I don't remember what the other one is. One of them was closed off the first time we went. I don't know if it had to do with the paths or whatever, but the paths are these like wooden walkways, so you're raised up like in the marshes, and there are signs everywhere for all the different birds that you can see, and there's some places where they tell you have to be quiet. It was really nice for us because of these walkways, we just let the baby run. He just ran and ran. He absolutely loved it. Wore him out. I will say, this is like at least a half-day activity. We kind of went as just an off thing. Like, we were trying to burn time waiting for family to arrive on an airplane because their flight had been delayed, and we were there for 3 hours and we barely scratched the surface. And it actually goes all the way to the water, and there were tons of people like on the beach having picnics and eating. So cool. Definitely a must go. Okay, here's the other market, is the San Telmo market. I've talked about this in a bunch of other videos, but this is a must in my opinion. This is such a cool and unique experience. I've been to markets all over the world. I've been to the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul. I've been to the bazaar in Cairo. I have been to markets, the Christmas markets all over Germany and Austria. I've done markets. I've done stuff like this. And I love doing it in different countries just to see what they have and what they have to offer and what the experience is like. And I love the San Telmo market. It is such a great place to go. There are always street performers, so you will definitely see someone doing the tango. There are people playing music. There are people just doing all sorts of things. And then the stuff that they have there is incredible. You'll find leather goods. You will find mate and mate related items. You will find art. You will find food. It's just clothes, like literally everything. Definitely a cool experience. And while the indoor part of the market is open all week, not all the vendors are open inside the market all week. So from what I understand, Saturdays there are more vendors, but Sundays are when you want to go because that's when everybody is there. Also, you'll find information that says that the market is open till 8. There are a lot of vendors that start closing up at 6, so keep that in mind. The last one is Tamican. So this is a 45-minute car ride outside of Buenos Aires. It is a zoo. Probably one of the coolest zoos I've ever been to. So incredibly neat. The stuff that they had there, the animals, the bird area was the size of some small zoos in the US. So cool. I cannot recommend this one more. We went a few times. I think we only went twice. But it was just a really cool experience, and I feel like it's something that not everybody talks about or goes to because it is a little bit outside of the city, but it's definitely like a day trip kind of thing to do, especially if you are an animal lover or have kids that are animal lovers. Well, that is it. Those are my must go-to places in Buenos Aires. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can see other videos like this in your feed.